Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Tuesday, June 1, 2021. Fox report. Boy, 7, swims an hour to rescue his dad and little sister. Jacksonville, Florida. A 7-year-old boy is being credited for helping to save his father and 4-year-old sister by swimming to shore and calling for help after they got caught in a strong current during a holiday weekend boating trip on Florida's St. Johns River. The father, Stephen Poust, told Jax 4 television station that he anchored his boat in the river while he fished and his children played on Friday.
Fox report. FBI agent charged in off-duty shooting of man on subway. An FBI agent has been charged with attempted murder in the off-duty shooting of another man on a metro subway train last year in a Maryland suburb of Washington, D.C., according to court records unsealed Tuesday. The agent, Eduardo Valdivia, made his initial court appearance Tuesday afternoon in Montgomery County Circuit Court on charges including attempted second-degree murder, first-degree assault and reckless endangerment.
CNN report Sam's Club is bringing back free sample. Sam's Club is the latest warehouse chain to bring back food samples, joining rival Costco in returning to a pre-pandemic shopping staple. Beginning this week, the company is relaunching its sampling and demo program called Taste and Tips. Across its roughly 600 U.S. locations, the perk was discontinued in March 2020 as the pandemic hit America. It won't be exactly like pre-pandemic times, however, for now at least. Taste and Tips will be available only on weekends and it will include sealed samples in limited quantities.
Deutsche Welle report coronavirus. WHO approves Sinovac COVID vaccine for emergency use. The World Health Organization said Tuesday that it approved the COVID-19 vaccine from Sinovac Biotech for emergency use. It is the second Chinese vaccine to make the list after the shot from Sinopharm was approved in April. The WHO approved list includes vaccines developed by BioNTech, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson. The announcement allows the 2-dose vaccine to be used as part of the COVAX program, which provides vaccines to many low-income nations.
BBC report. JBS, world's largest meat company hit by cyber attack. The world's largest meat processing company has been targeted by a sophisticated cyber attack. Computer networks at JBS were hacked, causing some operations in Australia, Canada and the US to temporarily shut down, affecting thousands of workers. The company believes the ransomware attack originated from a criminal group likely based in Russia, the White House said. It follows a similar attack last month on the largest fuel pipeline in the U.S.
Deutsche Welle report. Spanish court refuses to jail Polisario Front leader. A Spanish court on Tuesday refused to send Western Sahara independence leader Brahim Ghali to jail, dismissing a request to detain him in a war crimes case for lack of evidence. The Polisario Front leader, who has been hospitalized in the Spanish city of Logroño since April 18 to be treated for coronavirus, appeared via video link before the court in Madrid. Prosecutors alleged he is responsible for genocide, murder, terrorism, torture and disappearances.
Al Jazeera report. Germany, UN to host Libya conference. Germany and the United Nations plan to host a conference on Libya in Berlin on June 23. A gathering that aims to bring together powers with interests in the North African country and its transitional government. The conference, announced on Tuesday by Germany, will take stock of the next steps needed for a sustainable stabilization of the country. Read a statement by the country's foreign ministry.
Fox report. Chinese professor goes viral on TikTok after complaining about his daughter's academic performance. A professor at a prestigious Chinese university has gone viral after complaining about his daughter's academic performance on TikTok, saying in a video that her IQ is far lower than his and that he can't do anything about it. The clip featuring Ding Yanqing of Peking University, which he posted in May, has received around 2 million likes and also has been viewed nearly 500 million times on the Chinese social media website, Weibo, according to the South China Morning Post.
Fox report. Netanyahu slams Iran nuclear deal possibility, willing to risk friction with U.S. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu said he is willing to risk friction with the U.S. to prevent Iran from going nuclear if it moves forward with reinstating the Iran nuclear deal. The now contested leader, coming off an 11-day war with Hamas, said a nuclear Iran remains the biggest threat to Israel. If we have to choose, I hope it doesn't happen, between friction with our great friend the United States and eliminating the existential threat, eliminating the existential threat, wins, Netanyahu said.
Al Jazeera report. Lawsuit claims Dante Wright, shot, teenager in June 2019. A recently unsealed civil lawsuit filed by the mother of Caleb Livingston claims Dante Wright, whose death became a rallying cry for the anti-police violence movement following his death in April, shot Livingston in the head in May 2019. When he was 16, Livingston was shot at a petrol station in Minneapolis and the wound left him in a vegetative state, Jennifer LeMay claims in the lawsuit, originally filed on May 4 under seal.
Al Jazeera report. Several killed as blasts rock Afghanistan capital Kabul. 3 bombs rattled the Afghan capital Kabul, killing at least 10 people and plunging the city into darkness, an Afghan government spokesman has said. 2 bombs exploded in quick succession in separate locations of a West Kabul neighborhood late on Tuesday, killing at least 10 people and wounding a dozen others, said Deputy Interior Ministry spokesman said Hamid Rushan. A 3rd bomb heavily damaged an electric grid station in North Kabul, said Sangar Niazai, a spokesman for the government power supply department.
BBC report. Tulsa race massacre. President Biden commemorates 100-year anniversary. Mr. Biden flew to Tulsa, Oklahoma, on Tuesday to mark the 100th anniversary of the attack, which claimed some 300 African American lives. The 2 days of violence, sparked by a white mob, were largely erased from history for decades. It re-entered the national discourse amid racial justice protests last year. On the 31st of May, 1921, a group of white Americans laid siege to the affluent and predominantly black neighborhood of Greenwood in Tulsa.
CNN report. Amid escalating violence, Colombia sends in troops. More than a month since Colombians first took to the streets this year to protest against a botched tax overhaul and the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, tensions across the country are escalating rapidly with more than a dozen deaths over the weekend, and a risky new government tactic. On Friday, the southern city of Cali witnessed new scenes of panic when several people in civilian clothing appeared to open fire against protesters, social media footage shows.
Deutsche Welle report. Austrian far-right leader Norbert Hofer resigns as FPO chief. Austria's far-right Freedom Party, FPO, chief Norbert Hofer said on Tuesday that he was resigning as leader. He announced the news on Twitter before deleting the tweet moments later. Hofer then confirmed his departure in a statement on Tuesday evening. My own journey at the helm of the FPO has come to an end today. I wish my successor in this position every success for the future, the statement said.
CNN report. Parents fear for kidnapped children, some as young as 4, after latest school raid in Nigeria. The father of some of the children abducted at gunpoint at a school in north-central Nigeria has told CNN how 4 of his 8 kids were taken by gunmen on Sunday. The youngest is just 5 years old. Murtala Muhammadu, 48, a local businessman in Tajina, a remote town in Niger State's Rafi district, told CNN on Tuesday that his 5-year-old son and 3 daughters aged 6 and 7 were among the more than 150 schoolchildren kidnapped from an Islamic evening school by the armed assailants in Niger State.
BBC report. Pissarro. Woman ends fight to reclaim stolen Nazi art. Leonie Noel Meyer discovered the artwork was in an Oklahoma gallery in 2012, but the statute of limitations meant she was unable to reclaim it. On Tuesday, however, she announced she was ending her battle to overturn an agreement to rotate the Pissarro painting between France and the U.S. Mrs. Meyer, who is in her 80s, said she had been heard but not listened to. After all these years, I have no other choice but to take heed of the inescapable conclusion that it will be impossible to persuade the different parties to whose attention I have brought this matter, she wrote in a statement.
CNN report. It's just human dignity. Trans writers and journalists struggle to get old bylines corrected. When Theresa Tannenbaum transitioned in 2019, she changed her name and began a years-long quest to correct the one she was given at birth, her dead name, on dozens of academic papers she published over the years. For Tannenbaum, an associate professor at the University of California, Irvine, who studies the theory and practice of interactive storytelling, there's a lot on the line. These papers, 83 publications across 15 publishers, catalog her work over more than a decade.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. Recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.